This is a 2003 Hummer H2, which is the first mainstream Hummer in production. It came out in 2003 and ran through the 2009 model year. It was designed to mimic the original H1 Hummer, which was used for military purposes, offering the same styling that you get in the H1, but in a much more practical, livable package. Unfortunately, the Hummer brand folded in 2009 under GMC bankruptcy, and the Hummer brand is no longer in existence. Now, depending on how you look at the H2, you may see it as one of the coolest classic vehicles from this era, or
you might say it sucks.
Now, the styling on the H2 is iconic. I think it is one of the coolest SUVs from this era. It is so unique. There's nothing else out there that's like it. And I love the fact that it pays so much tribute to that original H1 while still having a personality of its own. Now, when we look at the front of the vehicle, a lot here that's again paying tribute to that original H1. It's got this very wide stance to it, very bold and rugged looking. We've got the 7-slot grille with the round headlights and then these little rectangular side lights. If we look up on the hood, it's got these vents and these hooks right here that, again, give it that really rugged look. This specific Hummer's got the aftermarket brush guard, which again just adds to that intense look, and I love all the lights that we've got on it. Obviously these fog lights are part of that brush guard, so those are added, but we've got the fog lights integrated into the bumper, and then up top we've got the 5 cab lights, which again looks super cool. Coming around to the side of the vehicle, again, a really cool looking vehicle, paying some tribute to that H1 while still having a personality of its own. It's very rugged, militaristic looking, very boxy, while also being very sporty and slightly premium. One of the design cues I really like on the H2, which is paying tribute to that H1, is the design of these windows. They're very short in the vertical dimension and very long in terms of width. Speaking of windows, love the very vertical front windshield that we've got here as well. Again, looks really cool. And then I just love all the little features on the vehicle that give it this really bold look. We've got these straps that hold down the hood. We've got these side vents, really big mirrors with the chrome accents. Nice bulky handles here on the side, and then again, just even the gas cap here has got a rugged look to it. I love the overall proportions of the vehicle too, how it's got this really big heavy-duty look to it. It's very full size, but at the same time, for a full-size SUV, it's got a pretty short wheelbase, and then at the back here, really short on this rear dimension. Looks kind of cool how it's really big, and you know, you got these giant doors in the front and then that smaller section in the back. So I like that look. Likewise, I like this rear bumper, really heavy duty look to it with the Hummer lettering kind of emblazoned in there. And then we've also got these shackles integrated into the bumper for getting you out of a sticky situation. Love the boxy rear windshield here. Again, having that dimension where it's very wide in terms of length while being short in the vertical dimension. I got these little covers. I don't know if these came on at stock or not, but again, give it that bold, rugged look. And even just some of the little accents like these reflectors just add something to the vehicle. Of course, we've got the integrated side rails and crossbars, and then we've also got these lights up on top, 2 on either side, and we've got 3 across the middle. Again, just tons of lights on this vehicle that really increase that visibility and give it a really cool look. Great looking vehicle overall. This one does have aftermarket wheels and tires, which I do think are an improvement over the stock wheels, but just a great looking vehicle. As you can see, the styling on the H2 is absolutely iconic.
I think the styling is kind of stupid. So with the H1s, they were dropped into combat by helicopter, which is so cool. And so we have the same feature on this Hummer, although it's plastic. So no helicopter is going to be dropping you into combat with these because they'll break. Yeah, there's no way these are gonna hold this whole vehicle. And then this vent even is fake. It has like a couple tiny little holes, but it doesn't go all the way through. That's just stupid. You're paying extra money to get this rugged look, and it's fake. It's just plastic. I could break this with my hands. And then, like Mike mentioned, all the lights. This is aftermarket. But if you look up here, even before those, we have 6 lights up front, 5 on top. What are you going to use all of those lights for? You already have fog lights, and so you really don't need to add anything more onto it, but it gives it that rugged look. Moving to the side, you have these odd bulges that literally have nothing inside of them. They're just there to make it look cooler, which it makes it look stupid. And then we have this pretty straight up and down windshield that's really, in reality, it's just gonna catch more bugs and crack easier. Not to mention the windshield wipers are so tiny. And then coming back up front, Mike pointed this out, we have this really cool Hummer. Just the logo up there, as if you're driving down the road and somebody's gonna see them and be like, oh my goodness, a Hummer. And then once you come to the side, we have H2 right here, so that's 2 logos. And then 3, 4, and then we have another one on the back, and then these 3 up here on the other side as well, making a total of 8. On the original wheels and tires, it also says Hummer on those, so that makes 12. I had to do the math. And then looking at the back for this windshield wiper is a little bit longer than my finger width. Remind you, I'm a smaller girl, my hands are very tiny. And look how big this windshield is. This back windshield. That's just stupid. It's not gonna do anything for you. And then you have these guys as if they're super flimsy, and as if they're actually gonna protect your lights from rocks or anything. And you have some more cutouts here in case you need some more lights, as if you don't have enough up there and on the sides. And then something cool about the H1 is that they actually had an inflation system in the wheels and the tires. So that means that when they were on softer ground, they could deflate it, so then they'd have less air in the tire, and then once they hit harder concrete or whatever, they could re-inflate it just inside. And so these are aftermarket wheels and tires, but beforehand they had they added this look that made it seem as if they still had that inflation system, even though they didn't. And there's the logos, and yeah, it's just stupid. I don't know, it's stupid.
Now, while there's no denying that the H1 is absolutely awesome, it's got great styling, it's incredibly capable off-road, it's not a very practical vehicle for day-to-day use. For starters, it is incredibly wide, so you're not going to be able to fit it in a parking spot. It is very uncomfortable inside. You're sitting extremely far from your other passengers, no luxury features. Definitely a cool vehicle, but not really something that you want to drive for those day-to-day uses. Now, the H2 in comparison is actually quite a luxurious vehicle. It's got a really nice overall interior inside. You'll see that we've got leather seats, we've got power windows, power door locks, heated seats for driver and front passenger. We've got a Bose premium audio system, automatic headlights. On the steering wheel, we've got audio controls, you've got a CD player, navigation, electronically controlled 4-wheel drive system, automatic transmission, dual zone climate control. We've got a sunroof that's tilt and sliding. You can program up to 3 garage door openers. And likewise, the back of the vehicle is really nice too. You'll see that we've got seating here for 3, some nice storage compartments built into the door, a rear audio system so you can control that independently from the front. And these rear seats are also heated. We've got a built-in armrest here with 2 cup holders. And then when we jump to the back of the vehicle, we've also got an additional seat which increases that seating capacity up to 6, and a pretty good amount of rear cargo space as well.
Did you just say a pretty good amount of rear storage space? This is where you're supposed to put the spare tire. This is the one spot. I can barely fit in here. I can't even lay down in here. Okay, Mike. There's so many things wrong with this car. Starting off with the interior. What is this? A cutout for what? What are you gonna put there? Beats me. So if we go up to the front. So let's go up to the front real fast. So, all of these buttons are all really, really small and close together. And then we have this big thing that has 3 buttons on it. Quite interesting, wouldn't you say? And then the 2 closest buttons to the driver is a tow haul and whatever this is, tire pressure. And then the shifter, look how flimsy that is. Like, that is not, it looks super bulky and like cool, like it's out of a helicopter or like an airplane or something. And then it's just super flimsy. And it just kind of, it defeats the whole purpose. And then not even to mention the gas mileage that this car gets. 10 to 13 miles a gallon, and if this is supposed to be more practical, you're not gonna go super fast because this is so heavy. And then the amount of blind spots that you have in this car is ridiculous. And just trying to park this thing, parallel parking, reverse, like backing in, anything is just gonna be awful. And if you're somebody like me, I can't even reach the mirror. Do you see that? That's just so stupid. And like, you have this big dash for I don't know what. I don't know, you could put all your bobbleheads on it. That's not gonna look super cool or rugged. It's not practical, and it has this whole rugged vibe to it that is all fake.
Now, while the H2 gets a bad rap for not having the same off-road credibility as the H1 that it mimics, it actually does still have some pretty good off-road capability. The chassis on this vehicle has been specifically designed for the H2. It's a combination of the Silverado 2500 in the front, the 1500 in the rear, and then they made a few changes in the middle specific to the H2 to prepare it for off-road driving and give it a shorter wheelbase so that we get a better breakover angle. You also see that we get a pretty good front approach angle, and then when we come around to the back, a very impressive rear departure angle as well. That helps when you're approaching steep climbs or drops. And then the H2 also has a locking differential and a very fancy traction control system to help you get out of sticky situations. Not only that, but the vehicle is very powerful. They offered a few different engine options over the course of the life of the H2. This vehicle's got the 6-liter V8, which saw an update around 2003, increasing horsepower slightly. You'll see that if we open up the hood, give you a little look at that engine. Early versions of this 6-liter V8 see 316 horsepower and will do 0 to 60 in 10.9 seconds. This engine's got 325 horsepower and will do 0 to 60 in 10.7. Now, 2008 and 2009 models have a 6.2-liter V8 with 393 horsepower. On that engine, that 0 to 60 time improves to 7.1 seconds. Now, early versions of the H2 get a 4-speed automatic, whereas the newer versions have a 6-speed automatic.
So, in comparison to the H1, the H2 isn't even close to as capable as the H1 was in off-roading. To start off, we have this little step stool in the front that takes about a foot off of clearance. And then the front approach angle and the rear departure angle is just, it's not even comparable to the original H1. And so you're not gonna get that same ability. And then the tire inflation system isn't there. And so you can't even compare that because we don't have it in the H2. And overall, you're paying to get this rugged look and to have all these features, and once again, you're just not getting them. You're in hope of buying the H1, but this car isn't even close to it.
Now, the last thing that's really cool about the H2 is that because these have been out on the market for a while and they're beginning to be older vehicles, the price has really dropped. This vehicle would have originally cost you probably about $60,000. This specific vehicle is only $15,000. So you're getting this really cool SUV with iconic styling, very luxurious inside, great off-road capability, truly a one-of-a-kind vehicle, and it is an absolute bargain.
It's huge, and it's kind of an embarrassment to drive. I would never want to own this car. Okay, maybe I would.
Lauren, you look so cool sitting in the H2. You've got to admit that this is a sweet ride. What would you say if the dealer said, I'll trade you your CR-V and your 4Runner for this?
I would say no.
Oh, you do it in a heartbeat.
No,
it is so cool.
Awful gas mileage. I can't afford to have this or to insure this.
If we get 50,000 likes on this video, Lauren's gonna sell her CR-V and her 4Runner, and we're gonna get her into one of these.
No, Mike's gonna buy me one.
Tell you what, if it's still for sale, and we've already sold the 4Runner and the CR-V, I'll chip in the difference.
I don't want a Hummer.
No.
What?
It's not up to you, it's up to the viewers. Ford Excursion or an H2 Hummer? Come on, you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick.
Ford Excursion.
What? Over an H2?
Yeah.
All right. Toyota Prius, H2 Hummer.
H2 Hummer.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
Nissan Juke or an H2 Hummer?
I don't know what a Nissan Juke is.
She wants the H2 Hummer. A Honda Civic or an H2 Hummer?
Honda Civic. I love Honda
Are you
Civics.
kidding me? A motorhome or an H2?
Are you kidding me? A motorhome is worth so much more than an H2.
Oh, you can buy motorhomes cheap.
Yeah,
like a few $1,000. Oh,
I
no.
feel like I get so much more use out of a motorhome than an H2.
The reality is that I think that the H2 is an awesome vehicle. I love these when they first came out, and I still think that they're really cool. They get a bad rep for being yellow and big and over the top and using a lot of gas and bulky. And yeah, there's things about them that are kind of dorky. I mean, this shifter is ridiculous, but it's also ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
Likewise, all the bulges on the hood and everything. It's like all of those things really stand out and just give this vehicle such a cool character. And so, you know, despite the fact that people criticize these, I think it's so cool.
I don't know, I bet they were super cool when they first came out and all the celebrities had them, but I mean, they're still cool. They're not practical now. I mean, they're going for like a practical H1. No.
Now, it's really funny. A few weeks ago, I actually posted a review on this. If you want to check it out and get a more comprehensive review on the vehicle, you can check that out in the upper right-hand corner. And I pointed out at that point that Hummer, there was speculation that they might come out with an electric Hummer. And crazy enough, in the short time since I uploaded that video, the Super Bowl happened, and they've got a new electric Hummer on the way. We would love to hear what you guys think about the new electric Hummer. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.